During a heated segment on The View, Joy Behar unleashed a passionate critique of House Speaker Mike Johnson after he described the upcoming No Kings protests as Hate America rallies. Behar, known for her outspoken takes on politics, called Johnson's comments not only offensive, but deeply hypocritical, urging him to get your priorities straight. The protests, which are expected to draw over 2,500 demonstrations across the country, were characterized by Johnson as gatherings filled with the far left of the Democrat Party, including Marxists, socialists, and Antifa advocates. However, organizers of the No Kings movement have clarified on their website that the protests are peaceful demonstrations meant to push back against what they call President Donald Trump's authoritarian power grabs and the chaos, corruption, and cruelty of his administration. Behar took issue with Johnson's dismissive tone toward citizens exercising their constitutional right to protest. "I really resent that he calls it a hate rally," she said, visibly frustrated. "I've been around. We protested the Vietnam War. Many of you remember that." As the audience stayed quiet, she jokingly added, "I guess not. I guess I'm the oldest one in the room." To make her point, Behar referenced an iconic image from the 1960s showing a woman placing a flower in the barrel of a soldier's gun, calling it a symbolic photograph of peaceful resistance. According to her, that image captured what real protest stands for, not hatred or division, but a desire to be heard and to inspire change through peace and compassion. Navarro, another co-host, echoed Behar's sentiments while offering a word of caution to those planning to attend the demonstrations. "Peaceful protest is what matters," she warned. "They want you to get violent. They want to show images of chaos and trouble. Do not take the bait. Remain peaceful in your protests." Navarro's warning underscored the ongoing tension between public perception and political framing, emphasizing that maintaining nonviolence is key to preserving the integrity and message of the movement. Behar then called out what she saw as blatant hypocrisy in Johnson's remarks, comparing his criticism of the No Kings protests to how some Republicans downplayed the January 6th insurrection. Republican Representative Andrew Clyde called the January 6th insurrection, where 7 people were killed, a normal tourist visit. She reminded viewers. There were nooses. There were calls for the death of Vice President Mike Pence. Cops were assaulted. And they're worried about this? Get your priorities straight. Her words drew applause from the audience as she directly addressed her co-host Alyssa Farah Griffin, who previously worked in the Trump White House, acknowledging, "I like Mike Pence. He's a lovely guy. But what happened that day was not patriotism." As the discussion continued, Behar asked her fellow hosts what they thought Speaker Johnson was so afraid of.
"He's so scared," she said.
"What's he frightened of?" Sarah Haines responded that Johnson clearly doesn't recognize that people take to the streets to protest because they love their country and want to see it live up to its ideals. "People protest because they believe America can be great," she said firmly, challenging the idea that dissent equals disloyalty. Navarro, who attended a No Kings rally earlier this year, drove the point home. "This is not about hating America. It's about loving America," she declared. "It's about standing up for democracy and defending American values. You know what not loving America looks like. It's staying silent while good people are rounded up, while children are zip-tied, while journalists are silenced, and while we spend billions helping foreign nations as our own farmers go bankrupt. That's what not loving America looks like." Her impassioned statement reflected the broader frustration many Americans feel about misplaced priorities in Washington. Sunny Hostin wrapped up the discussion by calling on Johnson to act like a real leader. "If Speaker Johnson were a true leader, he would listen to what these protesters are saying," she argued. "There's a real problem with Republican leadership and this ongoing shutdown. Thousands of people are losing their jobs and not getting paid, while Congress still collects their salaries and enjoys their health care. The American people are fed up, and in this country, we have the right to say that." Behar and her co-hosts made it clear that these protests aren't acts of hate, they are acts of hope. The No Kings movement, in their eyes, represents a reminder that patriotism doesn't always look like silence or obedience. Sometimes, it looks like standing up, speaking out, and demanding better from those in power.